Hi, everybody. You're on Live with Neve. This time we really are here. I'm here. I'm surrounded by metaphysical beings, all kinds of freaks and friends and foes and all kinds of things. Had a really nice time last night for my friend Paul, my aide de camp and all around good brother friend. Thank you. We went down to the cutting room last night and checked out Edward Rogers amongst a few other friends of ours. And really had a good time. George Usher was also there, the legendary, the man, the myth, the enigma. We're glad to see George. He's looking hale and hearty, which he's had some health problems, but he's up and rocking. We're glad to see that. And we also have a new friend who I met, Chris Medea from, used to play with Brian Eno in Roxy Music. He will be a guest on the show coming up pretty soon. Really nice guy, and I just reached out to him today, and so hopefully in, I imagine late September or October. So I'm looking here to check out the comments since we're flying a little blind. Hey, everybody. I see a few of you lurking in the shadows. Hey, Pam. Good afternoon. So, Jules, you want to bring Mike on, or you? I see you're hunched over a hot computer down there. Julie's in Tampa, Florida, and she's diligently. All I can see is her hat. Hey, Jules. How are you?
Good. I am good. We're in a thunderstorm right now, so
You need some red eyes like a Jawa with your
a
hat.
what?
If you had a red eyes like a Jawa in Star Wars, just like two little red laser
Oh,
like
I know what you're
eyes.
talking. Yeah, okay,
Wouldn't
yeah.
she look cool? Look at that. It would be
I don't know.
badass.
She's
Look
got
at
like
this.
the 20s swing thing going right now.
Yeah, yeah. We get some dun 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 dun. Dun.
What do they call that? A
See
flapper?
me?
The flapper girls?
Flappers, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, flappers. Yep.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you got the flappers going.
Got to get a little flapper love.
And yeah, so you can see this hat. This hat is from Marie Schwannart. She makes these cool hats, these steampunk hats and stuff. You can see with the feathers and all that cool stuff.
hmm
And just to show you, and Johnny Schwannart, my guitarist, makes these beautiful wooden picks. This one has a tree of life on it, so I just want to share that.
Nice.
And they do sell their stuff. It's super cool.
Cool.
They do pirate hats, all sorts of fun stuff. They're cool.
Yeah, they do some
Arr.
great work. Arg is right, salty dog.
I knew
What's
that was coming.
that is
What do you think
right.
would happen to Carl on a pirate ship?
Oh God.
I'm gonna
Stay-
flog you, you matey. What's wrong? You talk funny, you bastard.
What region of the world is that pirate from there?
God only knows. He was a very well-traveled pirate. He got around.
There was Johnny Depp in there, and I think there was Blackbeard, Redbeard. I think they were all kind of intermingled.
Yeah,
my
that was. I was doing a what was the guy? We love him, great artist, Gary Oldman. He does so many voices that he
yeah.
occasionally forgot what he really sounded like after a couple of movies. And
Awesome actor.
Probably, yeah.
awesome actor, just tremendous. So speaking of awesome actors, Mike, what have you got going on for us this afternoon that you're uncomfortable about?
All right. Here we go. If
Stand
I got
back.
no, thank God. Let me tell you something. I want a new rule on freaking Facebook. If yesterday was freaking National Dog Day, happy freaking day. Put your picture of your freaking dog on there. But from now on Facebook, if you miss the fucking day, you're not getting to put your dog's picture on the next day. If you miss somebody's birthday, too freaking bad. If it doesn't happen on that day, keep the. I have enough shit to look at. And another thing, here we go with this fucking pumpkin bullshit. Now I see pumpkin face masks. It's too much. Why did people? Who came up with the idea that everything in the world should have pumpkin in it, especially in freaking August? It's not even September yet. So take that pumpkin shit and shove it up your freaking ass. Now, I got a lesson for you guys. Let me give you guys a lesson about letting people drive when
I'm pumpkin spice.
Dingbat Debbie will never drive again in my life, and I'll tell you why. So the other day we're driving, and we have 4 hours and 10 minutes left to get to West Virginia where we're going. I said, all right, you could drive for a while. I'll relax. I'll read my paper on the tablet. An hour and a half later, I said, all right, let me get back in the driver's seat. I look at the GPS. It shows 4 hours and 11 minutes left. I said, what the hell happened? You were driving for an hour and a half, and we still have 4 hours and 11 minutes. The time never changed. Oh, never got off the interstate where she was supposed to. Now we have to take the back roads across West Virginia So instead of getting there at 3:30 in the afternoon, we got there at 6:30 at night. Now here's the problem. I had my old GPS in the window the other day, and I cursed it out. I was calling her a bastard, you stupid. I call her Lola. You stupid bitch, Lola. You don't know what the freak you're doing. Well, my Google Maps GPS got insulted. So she's given me the silent treatment ever since. So she didn't tell Debbie to get off the interstate, and she's not freaking Marty Feldman, so she can't have one eye on the road and one eye on the GPS at the same freaking time.
That's
to
like
see the freaking
technology
arrows.
terror. The trilogy of terror technology.
So now you're trying to look at the road. So anyway, it took us. Instead of getting to West Virginia at 3:30 in the afternoon, we showed up at like 7 o'clock at night. I drove 190 miles at 15 miles an hour around hairpin turns over the freaking mountains. So number one, be nice to your GPS. Don't curse it out. Stop with the pumpkin bullshit. And let me see what else. And then I got to tell you guys about playing Monopoly when you're drunk. It's the greatest freaking thing in the world. Get drunk. So now Debbie and her brother, how they're buying all types of freaking properties. I'm not buying shit. I have nothing. They're saying, how come you're not getting any properties? I said, because it's freaking COVID. Nobody's going to pay me any freaking rent. What are you going to do? You can't evict anybody. So now they can't try to land on my space. No, you got to stay 6 inches away. We're in fucking, get off my fucking board. And then
have rent controls.
It's ridiculous. So what I was doing was just like everybody else in COVID. Every time I passed go, I got stimulus money. Every time I landed in free parking, I got stimulus money. If I went to jail, I just fucking left because they let everybody out of jail. Because God forbid, a guy that raped 17 kids, you can't have him getting COVID in freaking prison. So I just played COVID rules. And guess what? At the end of the game, I had all types of freaking money. Cool. I was freaking, Debbie was mortgaging properties there. Just play my freaking way. But we had a lot of fun. Drunk Monopoly is really, and if anybody's never played it, I told them we got to buy it. They have the Monopoly Cheaters Edition. That is the most fun game in the world. It's really fun because you have to cheat to win. It's really good.
Play it naked?
You can definitely play it naked and drunk.
That's even better.
Now they got this stupid show. They got this stupid show on TV, Naked and in Love.
And Afraid, or Naked and
Naked
Stupid.
and Afraid Love Edition. Come on.
That's like every year at spring break. There's like 15,000 episodes a day for that week when every kid in America heads south to the beach to spawn, and bring COVID back to wherever they came from.
Yeah, it's so freaking stupid.
Why would you want to do Naked and Afraid Love Addiction? Hey, baby, see all the fleas on my dick?
I was going to say, if you saw the guy that she was with, he looked like he's like the guy in the dating game who won, and then the chick was like, no. And then he turned out to be a serial killer, had hundreds of pictures. I'm a photographer. No. Click, click. Yeah, the guy won the dating
on the
game.
Show.
Totally
these assholes in the show are saying that none of the traditional ways to find love work for them. Oh, yeah. So being in a freaking jungle with 16 naked people, that's just going to be ideal. Oh, yeah. Let me see. I got a big freaking spider on my dick. But, hey, that girl over there, she's really pretty. Stupid freaking show.
Day 20, that shit smells great.
Oh, yeah. You just think of all the insect bites and the funk that you've had from stress of not eating and being hot and cold.
You know how much sand you know how much freaking sand is going to be up there? You better... come on, man. Oh, God. What did they used to say on that sports show? Come on, man.
No, that sounds like President Biden, for God's sakes.
Come on, man.
Wrap it up with the
sand in
leaf.
your pussy.
Hey, Mike.
Sand in your pussy.
You really ought to look into going to Fantasy Fest in Key West. It's a great time, and they have naked women who dress up like animals and men. It's a kind of, whatever you dig, you'll see it, but... My dad went down there with my mom one time, and he started taking pictures and sending them to me. He's like, you got to see this. And I'm like, I've been there. I've played there. God knows what I've done there that I can't talk about. So it's a
You were naked and afraid. We know. It's fine.
I probably was. You could be right. I had a friend of mine there. He got some kind of funky shit in his eye because he was... Last I saw him, it's alleged he was drinking Jello shots out of some skank.
Oh, my God.
And then he got glitter in his eyes, so the next day the guy had the poison eye. It was like all swelled up. It looked like something Dr. Pimple Popper. I wanted to
Come on.
Oh, man.
Oh, it was grim, man. At any rate, now that we've completely gone into the toilet, we have 10 minutes
ruining
left.
my pie.
Yeah, that pie. Pie might have been... You saw that movie, American Pie. What have you been doing with that thing?
Oh.
The microwave treatment?
There's nothing
Oh
left
my
of it.
God!
There's a little bit left.
I gave that pie the business.
Give that to the lady at the pest control company. Send her over the half-eaten, splooged upon
Here's
remains.
a big hole in the
Send
middle
it
of
to
an
her in
apple
a
pie. Here
box.
you go, baby. Thanks for all of your services.
Send
It
a
is
copy
whipped
of the.
cream. It is too whipped cream.
Yeah, we'll send it on
Oh,
a burner
bullshit.
phone with the video
OMG.
of us ranking on it. It'll be awful. The poor lady.
Oh God, we're all going to jail.
Look at this. What kind of question is
Oh,
that, Susan?
my God.
I don't know.
Jesus. Howard Stern will be blushing if he watches this. You got to be kidding me.
Wow.
What do we pay these people for? Now, so, Irish, you got any horrible tales before we bring this poor young man into this den of iniquity?
Well, I mean, I've been in the prison shower once or twice, naked and afraid. I mean, I got it. What do you want to hear?
Oh my God!
That's
Naked and
shower
Afraid
time.
Prison Edition.
That's what they
Oh,
need.
I like
shit.
it. Give everybody
Oh,
spears
shit.
and knives.
All right.
Make it real, man. You go in there
All
like
right.
Caligula, you come out with the head of your
dental
enemy.
floss your soap on this side, dental floss your shank on this side. Go in there and clean it up, boys.
Yep.
Copyright,
get dry.
trademark.
Oh my
Get
God.
wet, get dry, and say goodbye.
Yo, man. Almighty.
Trademark, copyright that, and
Holy
that's
shit.
Absolutely. That's a song we've got
Get
to
wet,
write.
get dry, and say goodbye.
That's
Holy
it, man.
shit.
That's how it
Yep.
goes.
Yep.
It sucks though because you got to hold a button, right? So I don't know if anybody's had to wash their balls while trying to hold a button. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah, how
It's
do
like
you do that? You have
juggling
to
with
hold-
one hand.
Wait, you wash your balls? Am I supposed to be doing
You
that?
got to from time to time.
Could
Wait,
be
I didn't know that.
juggling.
Yeah, you got to wash your
shit.
balls, and then you got to
No
brush
wonder
it
why
out.
they fucking stink. Oh, I didn't know you're supposed to wash your balls.
It smells
Fucking
like.
I mean,
got
I've seen
crows
Alec,
falling
I've
and
seen
shit.
Alec Baldwin. I seen Alec Baldwin on Saturday Night Live about his sweaty balls. I didn't know you're
Right.
supposed to wash those things.
You remember what Red Fox said, too? Wash your ass, boy. Your balls smell. You got to start
Listen.
the ass.
All right, if you can take a
Holy
piece of
shit.
crust like this and take it off your balls, it's time to clean them up.
Oh, yeah. It's time.
Damn,
You
that's
got to
what
get in
that
there
shit
with
is.
the putty knife and the spackle, kind of grunge everything all. It's like,
I thought it was fucking. I thought it was dandruff.
Yeah, it's like being a first-year biology student in college. They give you some mystery substance to identify. What is the mystery fluid, son?
It doesn't
Oh
taste
my
bad.
God.
Oh, Mike.
Oh,
you
my
dipped the
God.
sauce.
Oh, Mike! Wow.
It gives it a special flavor. It's the Paisan thing. We all do that.
You got the
Susan.
paisan. You got to keep stirring the sauce. Don't
Yeah.
stop stirring the
Don't
fucking
stop
sauce.
fucking
Every
with the
15
sauce.
minutes.
Stop.
Every
That's right.
Don't you
every
stop
15
stirring that
minutes
sauce.
without fail.
I hear
Yeah, what are you
fucking
making
flames and
tonight?
shit.
What are you
Gabagool.
making tonight?
Tonight
Mike?
I'm making meatloaf.
Gabagool.
Meatloaf tonight.
There you
Meatloaf,
go.
All right.
That sounds
There we
good. eh?
go.
There
Oh
you go.
yeah, my meatloaf is insane.
I had a workout day, so I may have had 2 Big Macs, 2 double cheeseburgers, 2 10-piece chicken nuggets, and a half a pie.
I love this. Wait, today's my workout day. McDonald's, fast food, fast food, fast food, fast food. Awesome. That's the kind of workout
I had a protein shake too, and a pie. I mean, it's
There you go.
look,
That's your
it's
balance.
pretty much vegetables.
Hey, a guy's got to do what a guy's got to do, and that pie was lonely, man. There you go. Look at that. What do you think? I think Carl would say, I don't mind them leftovers of that there pie. I'll eat
I
that
like
thing.
that there pie.
It kind of looks like it's got extra special sauce on it.
Yeah, a little hair on the side of it.
Well, there be some of them French fry. We'll dip it in there. Special sauce.
So let
Like
me
them
just
dead.
say how creepy it is to be the only chick and the dudes doing Carl.
I do.
There's nothing
Carl,
creepy about
he's
it at
kind of
all.
sweet on you. He wants to treat you like a sister from Georgia.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, man.
What's that like? Tell me more about that, Neil.
Remember,
You ought
here,
not fornicate
you know what a
with your
redneck's
sister.
idea? Are you allowed to relate with your sister, Carl, and your family?
No, you not fornicate with your sister.
Jesus God.
I caught you looking
What about
sideways.
what about a stepsister?
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
There it goes. I knew it.
Yep. They ain't family. They're not close yet. You got to break them in. They ain't good enough for family. They ain't good enough for nobody.
Oh. Holy
I'm sorry.
shit!
I'm sorry.
Holy shit!
It's one of those
Oh my
families where they're
God.
downstairs and they're like, "Daddy, Daddy,
Holy
get off me!
shit.
You're crushing my cigarettes!" Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Wait. What
I'm
do you
Give me a
sorry.
do?
freaking asthma attack.
You know, here
What
we
do you-
are. We've descended into the barnyard. You're in West Virginia. I think that had a lot to do with it. And our poor guest is sitting there going, "What in the fuck have I gotten into?" You know, Toby always tells people, "You're going to be on this show. It's a lot of fun." The poor guy's probably sitting there going, "I need to drink a few shots before I go on with these people." And that's early out there.
Oh
you
my
know?
God.
All right.
Well, I
You
think
know,
it's
we should
funny.
have a show. Wait, we should do a show like that where, like, every couple of minutes we do a shot and see how the show progresses.
Oh fuck!
I'm going to be the moderator
sure?
because
Yeah, me
You
too.
gotta
Moderate.
smoke 2 joints before you go on, and then do a hit
Smoke
every time
2
I do a
joints.
shot.
Give me the.
Smoke
Oh, I
two
got it.
joints.
Where do I find that shit out here in the backwoods of Kentucky?
Oh,
yes,
well,
Carl
there you
about
go.
it.
Hey,
Mhm.
you don't find it; it finds you.
Mhm. It's like a good banjo.
Ding 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 ding.
I'm sorry, God Almighty. I don't know what's
Oh.
going on, but you know,
Oh,
we got
Lord.
3 minutes. Let's just bring our guest on to say hello and ask him
Please,
to join
let's do
this.
that.
fucking
Oh, that's if
radio.
he's still there.
Poor
He might have
guy.
taken off.
Yeah, the poor kid, man. He's gonna be like, "What in the hell?" Toby's on his shit list. Hey,
Adam.
how you doing there, Slim? Oh, where'd
Is he
go?
on? Oh, hold on. Let me try him again. Hold on.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm on
he's
my
out.
phone here
And then
today.
we pulled him back in. What the hell?
Where'd he go? He did.
I added
He
him.
did.
There he
He's
is.
there.
Ah,
Oh,
we lost him.
Now he's gone.
There we go. I got him. Nobody, don't touch anything.
Hey, Slim, are you confused yet?
Oh my God. Confused and really glad I skipped breakfast today, too, I'll tell you.
Oh, whoa. No pie for you this early in the day.
Jesus.
What? It's good.
All right. Pam's in the kitchen waiting on you, Big Daddy.
OMG.
There you go. There
She
you go,
is
my
in the
friend.
kitchen, and when she's done, she wants Slim to come on by. I'm sorry, this is getting
Slim,
You still have a
it's
chance
all
to get
about
out.
yourself.
You still have a chance to run.
Listen, we're gonna take it 2 minutes at a time. We'll see what happens.
So tell us about yourself,
man.
Slim. We've got a few minutes before we have to go to a break. Tell us about yourself. Tell us what you do, everything, all that good stuff.
I'm a blues harmonica player and singer out here in Los Angeles.
Wow.
I've been making music with other people for probably over 10 years now, and I about 2 years ago started my own blues band that I write and I sing and I perform for. And yeah, we've just been doing the blues circuit here in Southern California probably for about 2 years, give or take a pandemic or two. And yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I put out my debut album earlier this year, and
Wow.
Wait.
got a music video coming
Awesome.
out hopefully in September. So that's
Oh, great.
that's the goal.
Well,
That's
we
cool.
hope to
Fantastic.
have you back and put it on the show. We'd love to hear it and see it.
Absolutely,
all that good
yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. So tell me about your background before you got turned into a blues man. How did you start to get into the blues? What was your stepping stone?
Let's see. When I was in high school, I think I listened to "Get Your Ya-Ya's Out" by the Rolling
Oh.
Stones. It's,
Me
their
too.
live
Wow.
album. Yeah. So there's this song "Midnight Rambler" on there, and Mick Jagger's playing harp all over it, and I was like, that's just unbelievable. That sounds incredible. I'd never heard like harmonica played like that before, and so my parents bought me one, like a really cheap something or another, and then I started teaching myself, and that's kind of how I actually got into music. And then I went to school for music, and I started playing drums for a long time, playing with different indie bands and rock bands here in LA, and touring a bunch doing that. So most of my 20s I spent touring, playing drums with different people.
Cool.
And yeah, and let me think, what else?
Well, as a drummer, I won't hold it against you. We always welcome the handicapped here on the Live with Neve show. And
Thanks.
Take it easy, brother.
Thank
I
you
resemble
very
that
much.
remark.
no, that's good. I bet it really helped your singing a lot. I would imagine being a drummer, your sense of timing, I would think, would be very good.
your sense of timing, and then also just like we joke about like drummers because you do have to you take a back seat and you are the butt of a lot of jokes. So I actually think that like being a drummer first kept my ego at a very healthy level before I became like a frontman singer
Don't
person
worry.
or something like that.
Whiskey and cocaine and cheap women, they'll tear
Well,
you up, bro.
that'll
man.
do wonders for your ego for sure.
Well, on that note, we're going to go to a break. We're going to leave it in the gutter. We started it in the gutter, and we're going to be right back. It is 1:30. Here we are live in New York with Sugarmill Slim from LA. We're talking music, we're talking harp, and we're talking
And
Sugarmill Slim.
nonsense.
Nonsense.
Yeah, usual stuff.
Chicanery.
Let's see if this works. Bye.
They sentenced me to 20 years of boredom for trying to change the system from within. I'm coming now, I'm coming to reward them.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
All right. I always love reading our comments, man. They're
I
the best
love
fun.
Leland Sklar, man. That guy is something else.
He is the coolest. He's definitely one of the coolest humans. Definitely an interesting mammal. So Slim, let's talk some more. Did you ever like? Your parents seem very supportive, but did you ever reach the point where you were like annoying the hell out of them, staying up late playing Elmore James till 4 in the morning?
I mean, gosh, yeah, both of my parents are pretty supportive. I think like you don't like harmonica is one of those instruments that like you sound bad for a long time before you
Right.
start to sound good.
Mhm.
Especially, yeah. So both of my parents were. I was living primarily with my mom at the time, so they were very, very patient. We had rooms on opposite side of the apartment, so I think that
Oh,
helped
cool.
for sure.
Yeah. Well,
But
you
yeah,
had a
both
great
of them
mom.
are really supportive of him. Thank you.
That's good.
Cool.
I had a great band mom as well, and she made life
Jesus.
possible all through the years, and just it's great when your parents are into it.
Very much so. Yeah, that helped a lot. That helped, like, especially when I decided I wanted to go to school for music and study formally there.
Right.
That
right.
really, really helped out a lot.
I'm
just
sure.
having their support like that. That was really cool.
Where did you go to school for music?
Cal State Northridge. It's just a little Cal State here in Southern California, but it's got like a pretty big alumni. Why can't I think of his name? The guitar player for the Police went to Cal State
Oh,
Northridge.
Stuart Copeland.
Stuart Copeland.
No, that's the
no, that's the drummer. Excuse
That's
me.
the drummer, yeah.
Andy Summers.
Andy Summers.
There you go.
Andy Summers went to Cal
Cheers,
State
Andy.
Northridge. Paula Abdul went to Cal State Northridge. They actually have a really good music department. But I couldn't, so I couldn't afford to go to like Berkeley or Juilliard or anything like that. So Cal State
Right.
Northridge was the way for me.
That's
Cool.
cool.
But yeah, I graduated from there and learned a lot. And then I basically just hit the road at that point, just playing drums with different people, like I said.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
Do you sing and play at the same time?
I wish I could. I can sing and play drums at the same time, but it requires a lot of coordination that it's a lot of coordination. I can do it. I just don't do it very often because it's
Right.
Also, I felt like a lot of people. It's rare that you really want to see a singing drummer because they're
Sure.
like so engaged, like they're so like hidden behind the drum kit. It's
Right.
really hard to connect with an audience if you're a singing drummer. Like there are people that do it obviously great, like Phil Collins.
I have a couple of tips. If you do it and you take your pants down, people seem to notice you more.
Well,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
There we go.
I've done it
Well,
in
listen,
a bet and won a whole $100 bill that that nobody would notice.
Where'd they
And
stick
truly,
that?
nobody did. I could have been sitting there with a big stiffy, and the audience wouldn't have known anything. And in the meantime, at the end of the night, I'm like, hey, nobody gives a shit. They're all out there getting liquored up, having a good time, you know?
That's true.
What
That's
the hell?
absolutely
Sometimes
true.
you just need a little extra help on the snare drum.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Oh my God.
an extra
Paradiddle
never hurt
diddle,
a drummer.
paradiddle diddle.
Do you ever
That's
do anything
right.
like that that's antisocial? You seem like such a nice kid. You don't pull any Jim Morrison moves or anything, do
I
you?
used to play I used to play shirtless all the time. It became
All
like
right.
a problem where like people would be like, Anders, don't take your shirt off at this show, please. We're playing in a church, for God's sakes. Don't do this here.
There you go, man.
I
I love it.
love it.
Holy
I
shit.
love it. You always
And-
have to push the envelope.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you really do. And part of it was just like part of it was being in the moment, and then also part of it is just, you get hot and sweaty up there, like just shedding layers becomes kind of necessary at some point. So that's
Right.
kind of where that came from. But yeah,
Jewel,
not
that's a
always
good pointer,
appropriate.
Jules. That's a good pointer for Jules when she's on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, shed the
full,
layers.
Go full Boudica mode. Tear those puppies out and go to town. There you go. People
Exactly.
could die, you know.
Hey, I got a question for you. So, I mean, when we think about like harmonica in like mainstream music, I mean, obviously you'll think of Aerosmith, but
Mhm.
like you think of like really good harmonica players, and like one stands out, and that's on Blues Traveler.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
that guy is just
John
freaking
Popper.
phenomenal on that thing.
Yes.
So, I mean, when you're incorporating harmonica into music, how is it that you can kind of break through just to like a bass? Okay, it's time for Wizard, Black Sabbath, to getting to a different level of playing.
I think it really like I think everybody can really appreciate when you see somebody that has I don't know, it's really apparent when you can tell that somebody has put in the time to really mastering an instrument as opposed to just sort of like doing it for a novelty. So I think like a lot of the time, like, yeah, like kind of like what you're alluding to, like, oh, here's the harmonica song or whatever, right? Where he's just gonna blow and suck for 5 minutes or whatever. But John Popper is an example of somebody that is so so exciting and enigmatic to watch, because this is somebody that has put in countless hours to his practicing, and it sounds like it. Like you listen to him play, and
Right.
you're like, this, like, some of the things he broke a lot of ground for harmonica players
Sure.
in terms of being able of like opening up the door to play fast, play like with a much more serious approach to scales, and a much more serious approach to like single notes as opposed to big fat chords and things like that, which is the bread and butter of a lot of great harmonica players. But John Popper just like really kind of gave a new perspective on it. So I think that's kind of it. Like for me, it's I've probably lost. I've gone far off the subject here at this point. So
Oh, no, that's fine.
No, not at all.
I'm curious. Do you use any type of effects when you're playing live? Do you use a bullet mic, or what do you use for your rig?
Yeah, so I use an Electro Voice 605, which is kind of like a bullet mic. They're vintage mics from the 50s. I want to say,
Cool.
yeah, mine's from the 50s. And then I plug that into, well, right now I plug it into a little box that like reduces feedback. And then that goes into, actually, I have one of them here. That goes into a delay pedal. And then just
Cool.
recently, the company that I'm working with, Lone Wolf, they sent me this yesterday, which is basically a distortion pedal for harmonica.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you can really dial
No
in
kidding.
some gain.
Wow,
Yeah, that's
And
great.
that's
And
cool.
then- yeah, so I'm really excited to. I just recently started working with that company, Lone Wolf,
Mhm.
and they've been developing like harmonica effects and microphones and amps for 15 years, something like that. And I've been following them for a long time, so it's just it's
Nice.
really cool to be working with them. I like them a lot. They're
Are,
really
are they
good
in
people.
California?
No, they're in Louisiana, the Baton
Okay.
Rouge, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So I've never met any of the people over there, but
Right.
And they're just
Well, maybe there'll be a NAMM show this year, and we can all get together and hang out and look at
that
all the
would
cool
be
toys.
fun.
That would be
I
sweet.
want to see the version of a Metal Crunch stomp box for a harmonica. That's heavy metal.
That's
Absolutely.
I'll get to work on that. Me and the Lone Wolf people will make that
That
happen.
is so cool.
What kind of an amp do you use?
I use it's a Harp Gear 50.
Okay.
I bought it used last year. Even though I had no gigs, I've just found a really great deal on it. And so I was like, I'm going to want this one day. And it's this big 50-watt. I joke with my band members that I play the smallest instrument, but I have a bigger amp than anybody else in the band.
Wow.
It's four 410s. And it's kind of like a Fender Bassman. I mean, it's really similar to a Fender Bassman.
Right.
If you plug a guitar into it, it sounds like that. But it's just dialed in. The tubes are a little less hot, and it's just dialed in like specifically for harmonica. And
Cool.
yeah, it sounds great. Before that, I was playing a little 10-inch, also by Lone Wolf. That I still love and I still use for recording and things like that because it sounds great. But in terms of like being heard over a band, it wasn't enough. So I'm glad I got the Harp Gear, which is really cool.
Well, cool. Well, we have about 4 minutes. You wanna make a little racket on that thing?
Oh God, I don't think for one thing, it's at my what you mean, the amp or my harmonica specifically?
Oh no, I was just hear you
Oh
play
yeah,
a
just
little
play
bit.
for us.
You
Yeah,
don't
let
have
me
to
get
play through the amp unless you want to,
I
scare my
never
neighbors.
knew that there was that many effects for like the harmonica. I've seen guys play. Usually it's key of G, key of C, key of E, but that was the size of it. I never had any idea they had that many effects. That's
Like
cool.
30 years ago, like we were using that in the studio. We just patched stuff on, and a lot of times people didn't notice it who were on the consumer end of music. But
Exactly.
people producing records, and everybody like runs into that guy who's got like the Bullet or whatever, an old mic, and he's got a Fender Twin, and he comes in and just smokes the shit out of it, and
Exactly.
all you need to
Yeah.
do is put
cool.
a tube mic on that, and then a 57. I like to use two mics on something like that, but it's just once you've heard that, it's kind of hard to go back. It's like a Mesa Boogie for guitar.
It's really true. And I think like my philosophy with effects when it comes to any instrument really is that like you should, I mean, it's a cliche, but it's so true. Like you don't need effects to sound good. You can use effects to like change your sound and get a wider variety of sounds, but like your playing is always going to come first. Like the best players, like I don't know if y'all know who Jason Richie is, but he's another blues harmonica player. He is just one of the greatest harmonica players alive, if in a revolutionary, and he can play like he'll make you cry without effects, but he's also like one of the most like he's a purveyor of effects and like a real groundbreaking player, a big influence for a lot of harp players when it comes to using effects.
Can you say his name again?
Jason Richie.
Richie.
He's actually touring with Damon Fowler right now. I think Damon Fowler was on the show,
Damon,
right?
Yeah, he was on the show. He's an old friend of ours.
So he's playing with Damon Fowler.
I lived in Florida.
Right now.
Okay, well that explains it. Yeah, he's got good bloodlines. Damon always has good fucking players.
Exactly.
He's great fun. Yeah, he's a killer. Well,
do y'all? Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Have you ever seen Damon out in California?
I've never seen Damon out in California. No, actually. Okay. So I've only. Yeah, I know he's based out of Florida. Is that right?
Yeah, he's based out of Brandon, Florida.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which is outside of Tampa. But I think he, depending on what COVID does to Vegas, I know there's the big blues show in Vegas.
Yeah, the Big Blues Bender. I think that's that's happening like 2 weeks from now, actually. So I was trying to. I have a show in 2 weeks that my normal drummer can't play because he's going out of town doing something else. So I was hitting up all these other local LA drummers, and they were all going to the Big Blues Bender.
Right.
Like, what the
Neil, there you go. Road trip, buddy.
There you
Road
go,
trip,
man.
Neil.
I'm heading out, ready to go.
Exactly.
titanium arm and ready to tackle the tanned and fit and ready for action.
Yeah.
And we'll stop
Beautiful.
by the Blue Man Hotel as well.
Oh
Perfect.
yeah.
Get up in the blue costume. Well, okay, we're half past the hour, so hold this thought, and then we'll have you back on and have you play a little bit. I know everybody's
Sounds
ready.
great.
Oh
I
yes.
love it.
Excited to
Yeah,
hear you
man.
play.
Awesome. Yeah, can't wait.
Okay, great. Well, Jules, roll us out. And
I'm Keith.
I'm Judy, and our company is Gone Country, and we design and produce our own really unique and fun cowboy hats. Keith and I have tried to create a business that's different by focusing on what's important to the customers. Our quality is so good that we offer a lifetime warranty on everything we sell. At the end of the day, if our customers are happy, we're happy. Check us out at GoneCountryHats.com.
Take a look at the sponsored artists on Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com to find your favorite artist's hat, like Duke Johnson, Sam Rourke, Neil, Jules, and more.
Like a melting flake of snow this year. I won't be sad to see it go.
Hi, I'm Darren F. Flynn, a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I'm on Live with Neve.
I would have said it couldn't happen here. The people we
all right. We're back live with Neve. Here we are. It is, gosh, I can't believe it's half past the hour. We're on with Sugarmill Slim and then the usual suspects behind me lurking here. So it's great to have you on. You seem to have had an interesting life, not dissimilar from a lot of musicians seem to follow that same kind of thing. And
Yeah, it's a tried and true, it's a tried and true template at this point. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but I've
Let me
had a
ask
great
you,
time.
do you ever play harp and play drums? Have you ever done that?
I have done that for a few gigs. That's really fun to do because it's a challenge. You really have to focus on like really keeping steady time and keeping everything like really locked in together. And people love watching that too. Like people like you being, I made the comment earlier about people don't want to see drummers and drummer singers because there's that lack of connection, but people love to see you do two things at the same time. And so that's always really, really fun. I have done that a couple of gigs. It's not like my favorite, but yeah, I've definitely done it before. It's cool. It's fun.
I've seen a couple of guys who actually juggle plates while they're doing the same thing, and I've always.
Oh my God!
I'm teasing you. That's one thing that I've always wanted to try, and I'm a pretty awful harmonica player anyway. I mean, I could sit here and croak something out for a demo or something, but a guy like you or anybody, I don't want to record me playing harp or, for that matter, anything but drums or maybe some keyboards or something. And in general, a guy like you can come in and make it so damn easy for those of us who just, can't do it. A lot of people don't credit harp players. Like in your case, you've had some formal training in music, and so you've really dove in, and you've done what I think is good. You've done your homework, and once you learn the rules, you can break them whenever you want. But it's a good foundation. And I've noticed I've only seen the things that I've seen through Toby of you playing, and right away I went, "Oh man, this kid's killer!"
I'm excited to
sound
hear.
great.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to play something for us?
Let's hear 'em.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just play you like maybe like a couple 12 bars or something. This is a new one that I just got from I'm gonna just plug Hohner really fast. Hohner doesn't need me to plug them. They're like the oldest harmonica brand around. But yeah, this is one from Hohner that I just got. It's a B Marine Band Deluxe.
All right,
Wow.
man.
That's
Really
freaking cool.
great.
Thank you
Definitely.
very
That was
much.
awesome.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that was sweet. So tell me, have you been
Yeah.
doing any? Have you been getting a lot of session work as a
A little
harpist?
bit. It kind of died down over the pandemic a little bit, but yeah, I do. Honestly, like I love the gigs I love the gigs that I'm leading my band and I'm performing and I'm singing. Um, but I have a real sometimes the most fun ones are just like the ones where I just show up and all I have to do and I'm just supporting somebody else. That's
Right.
like my background really is
Mm-hmm.
supporting other people either on drums or sometimes
It's
on keyboards.
Yeah, it's two different hats, for sure. But they all
Exactly.
kind of start to pay off from I know this guy from this guy, and you know how those conversations are made. Even like us finding
Exactly.
you through through Toby Juan Kenobi, the girl from Wilshire Boulevard.
Yeah, exactly. That's really what it comes down to, right? It's just like the connections we make and being a just a good
Right.
person in addition to being like a good player too.
Well, yeah, the chemistry is the most important thing because a player who's great and is just like an uber prima donna or chronically late like every time, and people who just
Yeah.
aren't like proactive and happy to be there and enthusiastic and enjoying it. And if they have like a horrible spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, like, and they bring them to practice and it turns into some horror show. I mean, I've just cringed at times. I've gone to
Yeah.
auditions and I mean, I'm an old school guy. I show up for an audition. I'm there with my gear. I don't bring anybody with me. You walk in, you know the songs, and you walk in, and in my case, you walk in and assume you have the gig, tell them
Yeah.
ready to go tonight, and do it.
That's
I
exactly
mean,
what you have to like you have to treat it with like that's something that took me a second to learn was like the level of professionalism that it really does take to get the gigs that you really want to get that like
right.
especially working musicians, the ones that
Mm-hmm.
don't aren't like superstars or whatever. It's a
Right.
job. It's an
Yes,
actual career and you have to
absolutely.
like think of it that way. It's the
Treat it
most
like
fun
that.
in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but you really do have to think of it in the same way that like you would treat any sort of like professional setting. And that's something
Yes.
that I'm really glad I learned eventually and still in the process of learning, I think, to some extent.
Well, you still have plenty of time to, have midlife crises, crash a Porsche. You haven't lived till you have a couple of lawyers on retainer, then you'll be
Jeez.
rocking, right? Right, Mike? We're gonna set him up, huh? He's good
There you
people.
go.
We're gonna hook him up,
Perfect.
Nah, he seems like a really good guy. I don't think we have to worry about
Down
that.
to earth
No,
too, man. Down to earth. But I would
yeah,
like to
Yeah,
play some more. Just
yeah. I want to hear
absolutely.
some more too.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see here. I got.
Do you ever
Sorry,
get
go ahead.
requests? Do you ever get requests from people?
So we played. My guitar player and I played a gig a few weeks ago where it was just the two of us. It was a duo gig, and so for a bit, and we had to fill 5 hours of material at that
Wow,
point. Yeah, we were there a long time. So
that's a
we were
long day.
Yeah.
we were taking requests at that point for sure. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just like
Oh
throw
God,
them
I
at
guess
us.
so.
Yeah,
I
but
I used to go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, yeah. So sometimes I'll take requests, and other times it depends. Like you get weird requests. It's like you're clearly like a blues,
Oh,
you're a
right,
rock
right.
band, and somebody comes up and asks you to play like "We Go Together" by Paula Abdul, and you're like, no,
No,
what
no.
are you doing here?
Why are you here? And who sent you?
Yeah,
I get out the
exactly.
waterboard. If you have a waterboard at your gig, it keeps the audience, it keeps them straight and narrow, man. We don't have any problems. So.
from blues to peace to waterboarding. Only here
At Live with Neve, can we make
Only
the
here,
jump?
exactly.
We won't talk about any waterboarding we may have done to any musicians, alive or
No.
dead, as the case may be. It's just all happened in the
Yeah.
past. Youthful indiscretions. No.
I love that.
Can I ask you a
Jesus
question?
Christ.
Did you what? And I may have missed it, so I apologize. But
No,
what was the what change? Why did you decide to go from drums to the harp? What really motivated you?
it was just really that it's a really good question. So there was I got this opportunity to play this gig at this blues club here in LA called the Maui Sugarmill Saloon. That's actually where I got my name.
Gotcha.
That's
So
awesome.
I'd been showing up to there playing jams, and just like they had not an open mic, but like they'd have like a house band, and you could like sign up to go do a couple of numbers. And so I went up one night and I sang and I played harp, and the promoter there was like, put together a band, and I'll book you for a show. And I've been playing like harmonica on my own for a long time, but I didn't have like, I didn't know enough people. I didn't know enough like how to even put together like my own band, and I didn't know like where I'd even go and play. So so Zach, the promoter, his name is Zach, he gave me this opportunity to do this. And at that point, I was just like, I ran with it because I was like, I want to play harmonica. It's like, I love playing drums and I love playing other instruments too, but like harmonica is where my heart is at. So, and all I'd been doing up to that point is just on my own. So that was the opportunity. That was the impetus that I really needed.
Excellent. Excellent.
That was
That's
awesome.
wonderful.
It was really cool. It was
Wow.
great. I'm really grateful for it.
And it's fun, you know, you do it the exact right way. You know, when somebody gives you an opportunity in this business, never say no. You just say, yep, what time do I need to be there? What do I need to bring? And that's it.
Exactly. That's exactly it. You don't say
Cadillac
don't say
Zach.
no to anything because you have no idea what saying no to that one thing closes you off from in the future. So it's like no gig exists in a vacuum, I feel like.
That's the business. That's what
That's
a
awesome.
lot of people don't get that.
Yeah.
You know, when I was young, I had a company. I was about, in your age group, and I had Dial-A-Drummer, which they could call me day of the gig within 4 hours, and I would show up. And I can tell you some of the most frightening gigs I've ever had in my life. Total fly by the wire.
Oh my
It was
God.
better than cocaine, I have to tell you. I mean, and you'd walk in there, and the first set would be like, you are talking about terror at a high level. But, I just, it's like you fake it till you make it, and you just walk in. But, this was really prior to the internet, so it wasn't like I could just look up every tune and write the lyrics out.
Totally.
So it was pretty, but it was different back in the 70s and 80s because like bands like the ones I was in, we worked all the time. We played like 6 nights a week, and then we played at the Bottle Club 3 of those nights on top of it. And Bottle Clubs, like, where the real hardcore, everybody goes after their gigs to go to the Bottle Club till sunrise, and then you come out into the Florida or the LA sun, and you're like turned into a splotch on the pavement, drying like hit by a car. But
in Brooklyn, that's called after hours.
After hours, yeah. These places were unbelievable, but the musicians that came through there were unbelievable because everybody would kind of be going home from their gig, and they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to go hang out and see who's hanging out and who's going to play. And that's kind of died. I mean, it enabled like me to be able to play a lot of different styles because my band was a variety band, and we'd have girl singers come up, and I don't know, it's a lot different. Even just clubs, New York and LA, from what I understand. LA, and I've heard, is just there's not really many places to play. They're dying off.
There are. I mean, there's especially like, just all around. Like we're even seeing some of the big spots that I would go and play, like when I was playing drums and I'd play indie and psych, like a lot of places are just going out. There was this place called the Satellite, which was like one of the first places that I ever went and saw any live music when I was in high school. And that place is gone. That place shut down. That was a pandemic casualty. But even on like a grander scale, like we're just seeing fewer and fewer places to see live music. And I'm not sure what that's gonna mean for the future.
Nobody knows, buddy.
No,
nobody knows what where we end up after all of this chaos. Nobody knows.
How many of these restaurants are going to close permanently because they can't get everybody to work?
Between that and the poor landlords, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're going to be screwed, and it's tough. I mean, people are going to have a hard time, like a club, paying a band. even everybody I know in music is trying to do their best to accommodate, but you still got to pay your bills, and so the cost of driving to from here to say Pittsburgh or Chicago, or flying, you got to. It's hard on $100 a man. That shit just doesn't cut it,
There's this great song by this band Gillian Welch called "Everything Is Free Now," and it's a song from almost 20 years ago, but it still resonates today because it's talking about how it was written in response to basically the streaming services coming in. Basically, now everybody can listen to music for free now. You didn't have to buy music anymore at the time. But it's reigns true even still in that the one of the things the song talks about is that musicians are going to keep doing this because we love doing it, and at the end of the day, that's why we do this.
Right.
But if we can't support ourselves doing it, we're gonna be forced to make a lot less of it. Yeah.
And a lot of good music will die if people don't get to do that. I mean,
exactly. And that's the shame of it, right?
Playing 6 nights a week for years makes your craft get, you really learn. And if you play a wide variety, you keep an open mind.
Yeah.
You can have a good career, but it's so weird now. You really have to be in one of the music cities. And even if you're there, people forget about nepotism. It's like in LA, you're not the first guy they're going to call. They've got family or somebody whose cousin played with Michael Jackson. I'm going to call him up. And
exactly.
It's you got to get on that right list with the right group of people, and really the studio people, they're not going to give up their hard fought gigs that nobody wants to take a chance. Like when they can call Leland Sklar. Or they can call, some dude who just showed up from New York, even if he's super good. It's like everyone. He's going to have to climb his way up from the bottom in that studio hierarchy, and that takes decades. And
it does. Absolutely.
It's pretty. It's not that you can't get into.
That's what networking's all about.
One.
Yeah.
But those people have been, they're all, for the most part, a lot of them are incredibly well trained, and I don't know.
Let's hear some more music.
Yeah, let's
I
hear
want to hear some more music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Definitely.
All right, man. Sugarmill Slim, here we are live with Neve. It is 1:15, and we're going to be right back with Slim and the rest of the gang. We'll be right there. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Neve from Live with Neve. We're just having a little fun driver here, so please PayPal me / at Live with Neve.
Oh, all right.
Hey guys, I'm international singer.
Hi, Hira.
Hey guys, I'm international singer-songwriter Hira, and I'm on Live with Neve. See you guys soon.
All right.
She's so cute.
She's so damn cute. I'm telling you, we just love Hira. She's going to be on in October. We've got a date with her, and she's like such a gung-ho and dynamic young lady, man. She's got some big UN-sponsored deals she's doing again, raising, talking about women's rights over in Sri Lanka, I guess, where she lives. And the girl's got it going on, even more than Stacy's mom does. It's remarkable.
Stacy's mom's got it going on.
She does. And in fact, I was hanging with Jody this week, and it was entertaining. We'll be having him back on the show again. I think we're going to have him live at the ISSA convention, or Asbury Park chapter next. It'll be September, excuse me. Third Wednesday. It takes a while. I got all these gigs percolating in my head. But,
yeah.
So where are you playing tonight or tomorrow?
Let's see. No, not tonight. or tomorrow. But my next show is 2 weekends from now, so it's kind of like a little dry spell for the second. But yeah, 2 weekends from now in Long Beach at this bar called Mulaney's. We're playing there. We're headlining. It's gonna be really cool. I'm actually I love that spot, and we've got this cat Ed Mann on drums. Who's do you know Ed Mann?
Frank Zappa, I do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Amazing. Percussionist.
He's gonna just kill it. I'm really excited. I haven't met him before, but I was talking to him last night. He's gonna fill in for my normal dude, so it's gonna be really
excellent.
Cool. I'm really looking.
Well, that ought to be exciting. I'll bet he's gonna tear it up.
I think so. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a little more like those shows are interesting too because with my band, we have things pretty well rehearsed, even down to like the set order and like what certain cues mean, so that we know exactly where to go from where. But when we have subs filling in, it's a much like looser. Not looser, but like much more like we're kind of feeling each other out, and it's going to be different, which I'm looking forward to.
It's sort of live without a net. I kind of like those moments,
Exactly.
It's like it's like having a conversation. You're not sure about somebody, and then it's magical when you have one of those situations where you walk in and everybody's kind of feel each other out, and then you play, and then all of a sudden you have I did that with Charlie decades ago. We recorded to do an album, Charlie's first record. And when we walked in, we were all like running in the door and the drums were set up, and we just kind of jumped into my room and sat down. And when we got done, we had 3 tunes tracked in like 3 hours.
That's
amazing. We kept it was so lucky though, because I had just met the bass player and we had weird expectations of each other.
Sure.
He was from Jackson, Mississippi. And Charlie told him I'm some crazy guy from New York who's out of his mind and to be terrified.
Wasn't wrong.
And it was great. And you know what? And we hit it off really bad the first day because I pull up and I see him out there and he's tossing cigarette butts in my yard. So, of course, my anal inner side was like, fuck, man, guy's throwing shit in my yard? You kidding me? I came running in and I looked at him and he's just standing there and I'm like, he's like, you must be Neil. And I'm like, yeah, you must be Tony. And we hit it off so great. You can never judge a book by its cover. And he thought the same thing of me. He was like, this guy's a freak of nature. And I'm just looking at him like, you're getting ready for the gig. You need to church up a little bit, get you some new shoes, man. You're just not pimping quite enough, But Charlie had a knack for putting a good team together. And
that's cool.
I don't know. I think a kid your age should be able to jump into a number of situations. Do you see yourself becoming more than as the blues it for now, but you see room? Like, where would you find yourself going? Jazz or who knows, heavy metal harmonica?
I really want to. Yeah, absolutely, I will for sure. I honestly but I want to go. I want to take it as far as I can. Like, I really do want to take like blues right now is I love this music and it's in my bones. So I think that it'll always be sort of like the root from which I grow, so to speak. But but yeah, I really do want to take it as far as I can go. I'd love to take play more jazz. I used to play a lot of when I was drumming more, I would play a lot of jazz, and I loved doing that. That was really cool. I'd want to take it, for me, like my aesthetic and my a big part of my roots goes back to like glam rock and classic rock, and so things like that. I really want to explore that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think with any artist, if you set limits for yourself, you're only disservicing yourself. So I really do want to take it as far as I can go. And play, and honestly, play with as many people as I possibly can. Play with as many good musicians, because that's how I've always learned, is from other good musicians that have new perspectives.
Absolutely.
Well, do you ever play with horn players? How does that work out for you? Do you like playing with horn sections, or do you ever find that they're just kind of like dismissive sometimes, or how does that work out? Is there any?
Well, there's an interesting thing with harmonica, and that I don't know if we want to get too into the nitty gritty about it, but harmonica and horns. There's the great example of Lee Oscar in War, right? That right. Sounds great. Of
course.
But the way harmonica is tuned, specifically it being an equal tempered instrument, or equal tempered or just intonation. There's the two different ones, and I can't remember. Most harmonicas are equal tempered, which means they are really great. They're great at playing chords, but less like there's certain notes that are that are out of tune, and it makes it harder to play with horn instruments a lot of the time.
Can you adjust that? Like, can you adjust that detail? Like when you're playing, is that something that you can like force it, or tell me about that? I'm curious because I don't know anything about it.
So there are certain notes that you can do it. You can get like a whole. Okay, so you can get like a whole chromatic if you know how to do it. If you know how to overblow and overbend, you can get a whole chromatic scale on one harmonica. Cool. But the actual tuning of it, like, it's like I think it's holes 5 is gonna be, it's slightly flat on your normal standard harmonica. Okay. That's just purely to make like the chord sound a little more resonant when you play like holes 1 through 5. Right. When you're playing like an actual melody and you go to that note, it's going to sound it registers as a little like flat in like A440 standard Western.
I would think some people find that little dissonance or nuance somewhat pleasing. It's sort of like, to a degree. It depends on their, like some people, if they hear something even slightly out of pitch, they go out of their mind. And,
exactly.
But it depends on their level of sophistication and.
Tuning is all subjective anyway, right? Like there's different tuning systems across the world. So
right, of course,
it's subjective no matter where you're
all
playing.
Kinds of cool stuff. So we're almost out of time, but where can we get your stuff?
I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple Music. I'm on Amazon Music. I'm on Deezer. I'm on all like any major streaming platform. I'm there. I'm on YouTube. I'm Facebook.com/Sugarmill Slim. I'm on Instagram at Sugarmill Slim. I'm on Twitter, TikTok. I'm on all the places. And then if you go to bandcamp.com/Sugarmill Slim, that's why I have copies of my CD and some other merch items up there too. But great. I'm on anywhere you like experience music, I have invested myself into there.
Well, all right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, where was that last place after TikTok? You said.
So
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Yeah, thanks.
Bandcamp.
Yeah.
That's like
asking the waiter to read the first page of the menu back.
Exactly.
Social market network. All right. Well, we're glad to have you on. Any of you guys have any final questions or comments? I think Slim's
I just enjoyed it. Your story, enjoyed the music. I think it was great.
I love being here. Thanks for having me, y'all. It's been great.
You're rocking, man. Like you're.
Well, keep.
I'll be hitting you up on Instagram. After we hang up.
Beautiful. I love it.
All right, my friend. Well, listen, when you get your video out, we'd love to preview it here and have it, have you come on and talk about it. So
absolutely, yeah, I look forward to it. No, of course not.
Okay, well, I guess we're 1 minute out, Julie. So, do you have any kind of visuals you want to end the show with, or anything that we need to watch before we go?
Oh, I take it that's a hint or something. So
I don't know. Whatever.
Let me just see what I can have. Let me see what I have here.
No.
Yes.
Slim.
No.
Here's a little
Sugarmill Slim. You're not going to want to. Sugarmill, hide your eyes. You're not going to want to see this.
Yes, you will.
So my dumb ass got drunk, and I tripped, of course, and I hit a pole. So, just my luck.
He's gone.
He left. No way. He left.
Oh man, the poor kid. Jesus Christ.
Oh, is that bad? Oh,
What have we done to this young man? It's debauchery.
All right.
It's here live with Neve.
We'll talk to you later.
Hey,
I gotta get my
buddy.
meatloaf going.
Enjoy.